Well, we had quite the battle last night. Amazing competitive event in a style that called for guys to figure out how to finish this thing after a long night's work. And man, we came roaring back in this game and gave ourselves a chance to win a football game. And we're fortunate, of course, to have the opportunities. But we made a lot of things happen too. And I said, I don't know, kind of said, I don't know how I said it last night, but didn't really know how to have a place to put this. So I've decided to make up our own place. And so we're going to put this in an extraordinary experience of battling and the opportunity to demonstrate who we are and what we're all about and how we're going to fight. And again, learn how to believe in one another and how to count on each other to get stuff done, even when it looks really bleak sometimes. You just keep hanging on and keep believing, and it's going to give us a chance to move ahead very strong, in a very strong way. And we're going to have a million chances, all kinds of stuff. We can't write these stories. That's why we love to play the games and see what happens. But we're going to need all of this and to put together a terrific season, and I think we benefited from it if we look at it in that way. If we look at it some other way, I mean, you can look at it any way you want. That's the way we're going to choose to do it and move ahead. So there's so many stories inside of this game, so many plays and sequences and stuff that happened that it's an amazing football game. Even without the scoring, with no scoring, you wouldn't think you could find that much in a game when the score is so low. But so we're going to gain a lot out of this, and we're going to get better and utilize it to go head down next week and the next week after that and keep moving.
Because your defense played so much, do you have to do anything different this week in managing their kind of bounce back?
We always consider that. We always consider that, and we adjust every week. Teams stay the same, but the reps and the way we do it is altered based on what's necessary, and there will be. There's quite a discrepancy, from one side of the ball to the other. So we'll make adjustments and have considerations for that, for sure.
Show up and how much guys practice and stuff like that during the week.
Yeah, you'll see some stuff, some names and things, for different reasons, just to make sure our guys are bouncing back. Because right now it's about recovering. We recover, and we didn't get banged up much, but there'll be a recovery mode here that we got to be in and make sure we get out of it and come out strong and fast, ready to play this next weekend.
You touched on it last night, but after watching the film, the TV copy and all that, just the effort that defense had to put in to go 95 plays and do what they did.
Yeah, it was 95 really challenging plays too, because they kept hammering the football up at us and trying to just keep sticking in the middle and trying to just control it. And and both teams played exceedingly well taking care of the football to go all those plays, 5 quarters, and not give the football up. That's a remarkable feat. And there was a real focus on both sides, both teams, to get that done. The guys were taking care of the football, and quarterbacks made good decisions, and because every issue, every negative play was going to be a potential issue, and so it was the energy and the intensity was on the whole time throughout this game. There was never a kind of a lull or a quiet time because every play was going to be a factor, and you could just tell it didn't take long to figure that out. It was in the second quarter you could see what it was going to go like, and it just stayed that way and never changed.
Were there any significant injuries other than Bradley Sowell?
No. As of right now, the docs are just meeting now, but there's nothing that popped up. Bradley's got an MCL sprain that isn't going to require surgery. It's going to take a few weeks. We'll see what it takes to get him back. What
are your options at left tackle?
Well, George jumped in there, and we've been counting on young George to jump up. And one of these times, we didn't know when it was going to be, and he did an admirable job for his first time ever, and we'll see how he goes. And we've got some choices. Jamarcus has moved around, played around. Of course, Gary's played over there. We have some things that we can work with. We'll let you know that later on.
Regarding sequences, starting with the McCray rundown of Nelson, what did film tell you about that play and the subsequent stand that resulted in the blocked field goal?
Yeah, Richard ran out of legs. He was exhausted, and he just ran out of legs on the tackle, if that's the one I remember. And then Kels just ran. It was a one-on-one situation, and they held the football a little bit on us. Got a nice throw over the middle. I thought Carson did a marvelous job during this game for all the times we got after him and all, but he had a great play there. And then Kelsey makes a huge tackle to give us a chance. and we capitalized on that chance. And we talk about you give us an inch to defend, and we'll defend it, and that's kind of what it came down to. And there was just a fantastic rally and a couple great plays in there.
And the Bobby Wagner stop.
Finished with that great tackle on the goal line. The line of scrimmage was hammered, running backs slid, and Bobby makes a tackle. He's got no room to do it, and he stands him up, and I think he and KJ finish it off and just don't give an inch there and give us a chance for the next play. And we were very fortunate.
I think in special teams, I think Kelsey played 108 plays for you last night. To be able to run JJ down on that play at that late juncture.
Yeah, that's amazing. There was a bunch of guys that did a lot. It was a game of heroics, and I don't know if they see it that way. I see the stuff on their side too that you admire. But we had a bunch of guys that did some great things and played a ton of plays and were able to survive it. Some of our guys, they took it. The bodies took it a little differently than others, but Kelsey was just an Iron Man.
When you brought Kelsey in last year, it seemed like he was going to be a special teams guy, and then you'd see what you have on defense. How much has he sort of surpassed what you thought you might be getting?
Yeah, at the time we hoped that we knew he could be a special teams guy. Then he wound up being our leading tackler throughout most of the year, and he became the third safety also, which was just a great pickup. And now he started some games for us. He keeps us playing at a really high level, and he's a terrific kid on the team. He's got a great attitude, just a great demeanor about fit, and he's really just one of our guys, just in perfect fashion.
Do you know yet what Cam Chancellor's status for the week will be?
I don't know any more than that we're very optimistic to him making it back this week.
When you went back and watched the running game, what did you see from your guys on offense with the struggles?
There was a lot of good things in the running game. We just didn't run we didn't run the ball as much as we should have in a game when we make our third down conversions. Guys, I know I tell you this, but if you look at it, I just went through it again. The first 5 series are all third down makes, and they were makeable. And with the one that we do make at 3rd and 5, Doug catches crossing route, we get a hold on the play, goes 3rd and 15, and we don't convert it. But that's where all the sequencing comes from. You have to convert and go. You can also make yards on 1st and 2nd down too. We were pecking away. We were kind of on schedule, like we like to be. We like to think of ourselves as a very competent third and 5, 4, type of team. And we had our chances, and we didn't convert. We missed a 3rd and 1 again, and then so that's just how it goes, and that winds up 14 plays in the first half, and it's missed opportunities left and right because of that. So the running game, we would be okay. We just need more plays. So you can see it in the fourth quarter. You can see that there was runs there. There were plays to be had, maybe it's the 5th quarter when it really showed up some. Yeah, it's disappointing that we're on the same topic here again.
What did you see on the penalties, the 5 holds on the offensive line?
There's a couple of them that we'll throw in there, and we've already talked to them, and we'll get some interpretation on. But we got a little desperate at times. Russell, our guys, I'm telling our guys on the sidelines, Russell will find his way out. You don't need to grab a guy. He'll make do with it, and they're trying hard to protect him. And we gave up 1 sack. That was an incredible job for a night's work. 37 passes. Russ got banged a little bit, but that's how it goes. That's going to happen, and we got desperate a couple times to just keep him safe, which is for the right reasons. It's just not at the right time, and we have to do a better job, be more disciplined about that.
How big a play was that punt block by Tanner McElroy?
Enormous. Really, I thought Brian Snyder did an incredible job of orchestrating a game that gave us a chance to win. And they're trying to do that every week, to give us a chance to win with great field position, but also with the plays that can make a difference in the game. And that was exactly what happened. And he and his crew, Nick Sorensen and Chad and all the guys and Heath, they just did a fine job of preparing the guys, finding stuff to do that could work. And when we had our chance on the pump block, we finally went for it and got it. And it was just a beautiful executed play. And just unfortunately, we didn't score on either one of those. Those are both scoring opportunity plays, and we just didn't get the ball in the end zone on them. But there was still great orchestration and great execution.
What do you make of the issues that Auschwitz had kicking at that stadium?
I don't know. We were aware of it going in, and we didn't talk about it very much because we just didn't want it to happen again. And it's, for whatever reason, it's something about the turf there. I know it's Calais Campbell and some of these guys, they've had a lot of blocks over the years. They've done a real nice job there. It just has been a place for him that he hasn't kicked very well. But, I'm not worried about that because we don't play there again right now. So,
What do you make of, he's been so consistent for you. There have been a couple blips here the past couple weeks. Is there anything going on with him?
no, I don't think that. I try to think of last night. Are there any times when he's had a game-winning opportunity that he didn't make? I don't remember those. I don't know. Maybe I've washed those out. But he's always come through for us, and we'll continue to count on him. He's a great performer and a competitor, and I know that last week, there was a little snap thing, a little issue that was a little timing wasn't as clean as we like it. But just stuff happens sometimes, and unfortunately, it's not unique to us. And obviously, it was right across the field from us too.
While we're on special teams, the two gunners looked like you were getting good play out of DeAndre.
Yeah, they played great. They really did. Nico was another terrific pickup for us. To get him going and doing. Sorry, Dan. It's okay.
He didn't like my question.
Yeah, he didn't. Not at all. They did a nice job, and DeAndre too. Both of those guys were flying and making plays and kept the field position in our favor. All of those things are so crucial in a game, particularly like that, where every inch is important, and we got great play out of those guys. They're fantastic.
What are your thoughts about what the tie means in the standings?
Well, trying to dig around on that. We've done some talking about it, and it really comes down to winning percentage, and so when your winning percentage is where it is right now, we'll be pretty happy with that at the end of the year, and we'll see what happens if it could weigh in or not. But the good thing is we didn't knock it down at all, and we're still in first place, and we're in a position to control everything we want to control. And I don't think if you tie out the rest of the year, it's going to work out that way. But with one tie in your schedule, I think maybe you can survive it.
Does it feel like
I was thinking about what about the hockey guys, man? They got all that kind of hockey and soccer. How do they do it?
Does it feel like a win? Does it feel like a loss?
It feels like a win when the guy hit the field goal off the goalpost. That felt like it. And then I noticed that when we missed our field goal, they looked like it was a win too. And then all of a sudden you go, oh wait a minute, we didn't win, we just tied. So we figured it out. We'll move on with it.
Have you seen a locker room as exhausted as yours? I mean, you've never had a tie before.
Yeah, there's been a couple. I've been down at Arizona State a few years back. I remember a couple of them. Those were outdoor games, but no, that was particularly obvious that our guys just gave everything that they possibly had until they couldn't go any further. It's kind of something the coaches talk about. Give us everything you got, and we'll drag you off the field at the end of it. Well, that's kind of about what happened. We had just about dragged those guys off.
Not that you don't always appreciate their work, but a game like this make you really the job the trainers and Sam and all them do in this week.
Yeah, they were active, and I mean the shuttle they did with Bobby to run him in and get him juiced up and then bring him on back out, and he sat out one play and got back in and played. That was phenomenal, and just to keep our guys safe. It was the biggest issue last night was make sure they were safe, and they were unbelievably tough. Those guys were unbelievably tough handling because your body goes into some other realms when it gets that dehydrated, and those guys had to make it through it, and they did.
Was the heat a factor there, or was it just the 95 plays?
No, it was just that and sitting in a hotel all day long, I think. Has something to do with it. Air conditioning.
With Russell, how did you evaluate his game in totality? And it seemed like there was times where he jumped out and threw the ball away and maybe had chances to extend things.
He finished really well. He finished the game off and gave us a chance down there, and it was just rough. He had, of those first 5 third downs, we had the ball in our guys' hands 3 times, to make first downs, and if they make the play, the throws weren't perfect, but the catches weren't perfect either, and we need to work together better than that. Those are always go back to the QB, trying to finish the execution of third downs. He played really hard and played tough and stayed with it, and was there when we needed him at the end. I made some good throws. And the guys made some nice plays with the ball, clutch plays, to convert the third downs to keep the ball moving at the end of the game. Great play by Curse and Doug, and you saw Jimmy come to life late in the game when he really was a big factor blocking and catching. So I thought Russell did a good job. I think he's solid. We can all do a lot better.
Did you talk to him after the game about discovering these inner resources they might not have even known they had?
Not specifically. There's some stuff today we'll talk about when we're a little clear-minded. We have been on the topic of, digging deep and going deep and seeing how deep we can get this and how real we can make it. And this is another very topical, illustration of stuff. And that's why I'm saying I'm positive about it. I'm upbeat about the fact that we can grow from this. And we've been through something that, few people get a chance to go through.
Do you have a better sense on when Thomas Rawls might be back?
This is what we're counting on right now. We're counting on him running this week, and then next week preparing to play. That's what we're counting on, unless something changes.
How much have you missed having a secondary complement to Kristen in that regard?
There's no question that we've missed Thomas's factor. Just the style of play and all of that. I think to give a real 1-2 punch, I think it would be it would be a nice accent. And I'm hoping. I really see us having an opportunity to improve. I mean, even now, Fetty played much better this week than he played last week. He really improved and played a good, solid football game. He's getting better. We'll see what happens with the left tackle spot, but George is going to improve tremendously as we move through the next few weeks. And Russell is going to get better. He's getting better. He got out of this game maybe for the first time when he felt nothing of carryover in his ankle or his knee, which is really good. There's always a little bit of aftermath. He didn't feel that, from what I understand. And then Thomas coming back, he's a big factor for us. We love the way he plays. So there's a lot of positives coming around the corner here, and we just got to hold it together until we start to feel those.
When the production isn't there, is it hard to stick with kind of still wanting that identity to be there?
No, it's not hard to stick with it. It's just hard to deal with the fact that you don't have it. We need to hang with it.
Russell's always saying to us that he feels great and he's not limited by his injury. But is he more honest with you?
No, I think he's being honest with you also. That's exactly the way he feels. It's exactly the way he wants to see it, and that's the way he wants to look at it, and he's telling you exactly what he feels. I would never question that.
How did you see CJ Procise, and how much was he able to do with the...
Yeah, a little bit. He got a little bit of work. Did fine. Made a couple of blocks. Did a nice job. Had a dozen plays or whatever the heck it was, and it's a start. That's what we need to get a start, and I'm really anxious to include him more and make him a bigger part of it.
Is there a possibility Quentin Jefferson comes back this week?
No, Quentin Jefferson is not going to make it back this week.
How is he at this point? What have you learned since the end of last week about his
He's going to have surgery, so he's going to be out.
Kevin Terry Lewis, will he be back?
I don't know that yet.
And Quentin Jefferson, it's a thumb issue still?
No, he hurt his knee in practice. Sorry. Did they know?
Did Fetty show any improvement this week?
Yeah, I made a comment about that. He did. He looked, footwork-wise, he was more solid. He was more consistent. He just looked way cleaner than he did a week ago, and that's a really nice step. First game was more so. Second game kind of a little not as sharp. This game really took a step forward, and we're really happy to see that. He's going to be a really, really good player, and he played very well yesterday.
There were a couple plays, one where Earl broke on the ball almost even before it was snapped and almost picked it, and then another where Deshaun Shedd down the sideline looked like he was maybe going to interfere with it and was able to kind of be patient. Yeah, on the deep ball. What did you see on those two plays?
On Shedd's play, he has marvelous ball sense and timing, and that the poise that it takes to not push and shove and and slap at a guy until the ball arrives is really it's unique, and he has it, and he's great at the point of attack. We continue to tell you that, and that was a beautiful illustration of it. The great break on the ball that Earl got, really, I talked to him about it. He just saw it. It was part of the game plan stuff. He was in a coverage that allowed him to be aggressive and go for it, and so he took a shot. He almost came up with that football. It's a great, great play.
Anything else? Thank you.